So let's pick up where we left off and see how these tools on randonneuring.org relate to the eBrevet cell phone app. So here we have the randonneuring.org website. I'm logged in as the Pennsylvania manager. We have 3 events already loaded. I'm going to demonstrate eBrevet with this 3rd event here, the Ride Right Now event that I created. The time is 12:15, but I just looked at it's about 1:45 now. So let me make this event start at 1:45. I'll make it start at 1 o'clock. How about that? And if I were to go to the route wizard for this event, it's going to tell me that there are errors because the event got changed, but we haven't published a new version. So we changed the start time of the event. So all the paperwork that says when the event starts, now that's all incorrect. So this is warning me. So I'll publish the new version of the paperwork. Now we have version 5. And if I were to go to the wizard now, I don't see that error. Okay, so this is good to go now, but there's nobody's riding it, so we're going to have trouble with this event unless we have riders. Nobody will be able to check in on eBrevet unless they're riding, so with no riders, nobody can check in. You've see now I've added this feature that was requested at the last minute meeting for uploading a roster. And the roster upload is Cardomatic compatible. I hope Jake doesn't mind that I stole this little segment of his website to indicate how these files need to be prepared. So if I find somewhere I have this file here, yeah, Cardomatic sample, and then I upload it. Now this will do a real-time RUSA membership check when it's uploaded, and it will do then up to the second RUSA membership check based on what the RUSA website is reporting through its API. It doesn't actually call the API unless our local cache or copy of it fails. Both these cases, Jake and I are able to ride these events because our RUSA membership doesn't expire until a couple of years from now. So, okay, so now the roster is loaded, and now you'll see that there are 2 riders on this event, and I could manage the roster by clicking on that. You know, if I wanted to manually enter somebody's result or time, that can be done there. Okay, so now we have 2 riders riding, and we have a valid published route. I think it's time to ride the ride using eBrevet. So here we have the Android emulator running the eBrevet app. It took me a few minutes to get this running. So our ride right now, 10K, is which started at 1 o'clock, is already underway. It's 1:11 now. So we better get going, otherwise we won't make it. We'll be disqualified for not even starting on time. But you have that hour after the start to start the event, and you can also press the ride button prior to the event start, up to 1 hour prior to the event start, and it will let you start the event, and everybody gets the same start time. This is a mass start style event as opposed to a pre-ride or a permanent. It's important to make sure that you update before you start the event. The phone will go to randonneuring.org and will make sure you have the latest versions of everything. You want to make sure that version is at least what's been published. You see we published version 5 and this is version 5, so things should be cool. So we want to start this event, so we press the ride button. That's pretty easy, and then it asks for a Brevet start code. You can't start this app unless you have a Brevet card. So let's go. We're on the ride right now event, and I should have received a Brevet card printed by the organizer. Here's mine. Here's Jake's. You can see Jake's start code is not the same as mine. Mine is 2DFB, 2 Delta Fox Bravo. So let's put that on there. 2DFB. And this is the ride right now, Populaire Q version 5. Yeah, should all match. See how the version appears on all the paperwork, so you can check that. So I start the. You see, I got an automatic start control check-in at 1300. I got a green check here for that I checked into that control. The green check indicates that this data has been relayed back to Command Central, and it's already known. So if I were to go back to, if I were to look at the info page on Ride Right Now 10K, and if you see that this ride is underway, and if I look at the riders, you could see that Chris Nadovich checked in at 1300. And is in there. Now you see this little check box here. This, if you hover over this, it will give a check-in code, and that has to match the check-in code that the app assigns. Now the rider doesn't have to write that down on their paper card, but if they do, then it can verify that they it did in fact check in. You can take that paper card and compare it later on with this check box here and see that it's the same if you think there was any monkey business. So the ride is underway and the check-in has been recorded. So now the goal would be to ride over to this Wawa. Now I cheated a little bit, and I already told the phone we were at the Wawa. So you can see that it's we're 34.6 meters away to the northwest. So that's within the 500-meter range. And when you're within that 500-meter range, this check-in button will appear, assuming that you're at the control open time. Now, I had specified, I don't know why, but I specified this control as an info control. So the check-in time is not considered by the eBrevet app, so you can check in anytime at this control. So to check in, of course, you press the check-in button, and then if you really wanted to check in, of course, computers make you do everything twice. You press the check-in. Now you can make a comment, and this can get posted to social media automatically. So you as you watch the ride develop, you can watch people's comments as they get into controls. I think that's pretty fun. But if you don't have anything to say, you just say check-in, and then you get this check-in code. You could write it on your card if you wanted. You don't really have to, because if you get back to here, you see that you get the green check, and you've already been checked in B2A4. You've already been checked in here, so this is unnecessary. So you're cool. And if I were to go over to the event info over here and take a look, you can now see that Chris Nadovich has checked in at both of these spots, but not there. And poor Jake hasn't even started. Okay, so now we got a ride, but you'll see that this control is not open, and we're not near it. So we're 3.5 kilometers from it, because I had set the GPS location artificially in the emulator to be near this Wawa control. and we're not near it, and it's not open yet, but you see that it opens in less than 1 minute. So uh, when it becomes 13:18 instead of 17, the the this will say that it's open, but we still won't be able to check in because um, we aren't we aren't close enough. Now, while we're waiting to be for the time to be set, let me do a couple things to the phone here. So let me put it on airplane mode. Right? So it's not going to be able to check in on the internet, and that's going to be interesting. And then I'm going to also set um, the physical location to be okay. You see now the control is open, closes in 1.2 hours, but we're not near it, so we still can't check in. Anyway, so where is this control? So you can click on this little info button. It's at Lens Court, Easton, PA. Okay, Lehns. So I can tell the emulator where it is. Yeah, it recognizes that. And I set my location. I think I could set my location by pushing this button. Okay, see how now the check-in button appears, and we're 74.7 meters from this, 3.6 kilometers from that. Skeggy's Ale House is not far away. It's over here. So we're 100 meters from where the start was. So now we're at the finish, and I can check in because the control is open, and well, it seemed that the changing the GPS location crashed the emulator, so I had to get back to this point again. Let's see if it works this time. We're 74 meters from the uh, Stoke Coal-Fired Pizza and Bar, which is a nice place if you're ever in Easton. It's great. And the check-in button has appeared because this control is open. It's going to be open for another 59 minutes. I'm in airplane mode, so let's see what happens this time. So if I hit check-in, I can check in at this control. And this time you get a little different answer. See that no internet cannot upload results right now message down there? And it says ride completed. It doesn't say checked in. It says ride completed. And it's giving you a finish code, 72B6. This is your finish code. This indicates that the app thinks, whatever the right word is for a machine, that you have finished this ride in 31 minutes. Wow. And this 72B6 is proof that you did that. So yay me. And you see that we have a 72B6 finish code here, and we see we've checked in to all the controls, and all is great because it says up here finished, but it does say not fully uploaded, and this is still orange or yellow. We checked in at 13:31. That our time is there, and we know our finish code. So I should be able to show this to the RBA. If I go to but if I go back to here uh, and I want to take a look at who's checked in, you'll see that our check-in hasn't been noticed yet at the at Command Central. But what if, let's see, hopefully the emulator can handle this. If we get ourselves out of airplane mode, apparently I have T-Mobile. Who knew? Okay, so now I think I have internet. I have bars and everything like that. If I hit upload results now, look at that. Took a second, but all three check marks turned green. And if I go over here and I refresh this page, yes, I see the check-in at 13:31. Now it's currently 33 minutes past the hour, but the check-in was at 13:31, of course. So you get the time you checked in, not the time that it gets uploaded. And the rider's finish time, 31 minutes, and their finished code is displayed here. I should mention that that these previews of these codes only appear on this page if you're logged in as the administrator. If you're not logged in as the administrator, these are not shown. So a writer can't just go to this page and see what their codes would be and write them on the card. It can't. That won't work. Um, so you finished this ride. Yay, yay. So let's take a look at some other stuff you got over here. So if you go back to the event listing, because this is the what events are, what ride button here, but you get a. Here we go. The emulator doesn't crash. The app's solid. The emulator, which comes from Google, is kind of dodgy. You get this fancy EPP certificate. Um, yeah, I'm not liking this phrase EPP for this, but that's what the app says, and it gives you the certificate, and you get a little share button. So if you have social media on this phone, which I don't, you can share this on social media, and if you click on the control detail on the phone, it will tell you your check-in times and your codes and stuff like that. So that's cool. And if you forget, and if some of these are not green, you do have the button to try again to try to upload these. So yeah, we finished this in 31 minutes. So if we go back to Command Central here, uh, we saw that on this page we see the finish, but I want to show you something else. If I go back to um, the roster page, you'll see that Chris Nadovich's elapsed time and his finish result has been recorded in this. Sadly, Jake, I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to say DNS. He just didn't show up. So he gets a DNS. I get a finish, a 31-minute finish. So that's good. And now I could download the results in a RUSA CSV format. So that's this file that I just downloaded. And if I were to open that up in a spreadsheet program, you'd see that it's a CSV formatted file that RUSA would want. So you would upload this, and your results would be done. So yeah, that's basically it. This is how eBrevet works with Randonneuring.org. And feel free to contact me if you have any complaints, if you find bugs, if there are features you want to add. Please contact me. I plan on maintaining this pretty aggressively for the next year at least. So I'm totally open to adding features, and I definitely want to fix bugs if you find those. There could also be differences of opinion on how things are done, and I can solve those usually by adding an option. So if you want to do things a different way, I can possibly put a switch somewhere to allow you to do it a different way without making everybody else do it that way. And if there are developers out there that want to work on the code, have at it. It's all out there. It's all public. But none of this really requires developer support. If you're a region, you don't have those kinds of resources. I tried to get it to the point where where it's useful without having to write any code. Uh, so, uh, and if you see features you want added, again, just let me know. Just because you can't add them, I'll be happy to. Um, so that's pretty much it. The uh, the system is, as I said at the beginning of the previous conversation, the system is based on stuff we've been using at Pennsylvania Randonneurs for almost 10 years now. The eBrevet cell phone app has been under testing live with our riders for about 6 months, and the riders like it. Not everybody wants to go into a store and get a signature, so being able to pull your phone out and pressing a button is good. Riders like it, and I know as an organizer, I like the fact that I get all this information automatically, and I don't have to do anything. I enjoy not doing things. So you say, well, you did a lot of work to write this computer program. It's because I'm fundamentally lazy, and I want to do non-recurring work. I don't want to do recurring work. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you all on the bike someday.